Hi everyone, today I'm creating 20 cards using the Call Me Crafty SheetLoad of Card template for January 2024. This is a cross collaboration with Kendra's card challenge, and this is sketch number 5 from card challenge number 12, and challenge 13 has just started, so there'll be more details below as well as the playlist to this sheet load, so you can find out more information and get more inspiration from the rest of the collaboration team. I recently purchased a Paper Rose Mega Box. This is a mega mystery box as part of a recent sale. It was one of 3. They had one that was all paper, one that was stamps and dies, and one that was paper and stamps and dies. And I had no idea what was in this pack, but it is a mixture of sort of offcuts and happy accidents, and I guess some of their run out stamps and dies. So I'm briefly showing you here everything that was in my box. It was $300 value for $100, and that is Australian dollars, so about, 65 US dollars. So it was a great deal. I haven't used any of the stamps or stencils or any of the dies yet, but I did sort through that giant pack of mixed papers to try and identify some that would be great to feature for this card sketch. Now, this sketch is perfect for using scraps, but I decided that I would use up, instead of scraps, just mystery bits of paper. I'm sure you have partial paper pads and bits and pieces left over from different collections. And I feel like this mega box that I received, it only has a few from a whole mixture of different Paper Rose designs. So it's perfect to simulate sorting through a scrap drawer or bits and pieces that you've collected over time. So at the moment, I've got some of the brighter patterns that I want to use for the feature element on the top. And then I've got a pile at the bottom of really kind of neutral papers. They don't have a lot of design to them. They might have dots or circles or some kind of squiggle, but they certainly don't have like big stars or flowers or the bees or anything like this that you can see in the feature paper. So I'm matching up into pairs for the feature papers, and some of these I used throughout the project and some of them I didn't, but I'm just trying to give you an idea of how I approached a random stack of paper. So I found 2 things that I would match together, and then I did some math and I figured out that I could make 5 cards from 2 pieces of pattern paper. And so the way that I would cut that down, I would get 4 pieces facing one direction, and then the cutoff at the top of the 1 3/4 inches means that I can create a 5th card. So at the moment, I'm running through and I'm trying to find 5 neutrals that I can partner up with the specialty papers that I'm particularly fond of to be the 5 1/4 by 4 inch layer at the bottom of the card. So that will leave a nice white border around a standard A2 white card base. So for each set of 5 cards, I'm using 7 pieces of paper. So here's me sorting through. I'm trying to figure out what are going to be the 2 features, and I've decided on the kind of olive green and the dots, and then the others will be the background. Now, for this paper here, I absolutely loved it. I have no idea what collection this is from, but the little owls and the just tone on tone, like simplicity of this paper is absolutely gorgeous. So I've put the 2 pieces together and I'm cutting them down as a pair. And what this does is it means if you keep those together, when you create the cards and layer them onto the white matting layer, they will be the same size. It's a bit of a trick. Every time you cut using a trimmer, it's not always the same and always perfect, which means sometimes when you're putting things together on a matting layer, especially if you're trying to put together multiple pieces of pattern paper, if things don't line up, it can look a little bit messy. I mentioned earlier that I can get 5 cards out of 2 pieces of pattern paper. Now with this one, because it's directional and the owls are really facing up and down, I'm going to have to create 1 card that is horizontal instead of vertical, or landscape instead of portrait. If you're enjoying the video, it would be fantastic if you could hit the like button and maybe leave a comment below. And if you're looking forward to future videos, then you can hit subscribe and the notification bell. So thank you for that. All right, to make sure that I had the best possible color combinations, I actually took a few minutes to lay out not only the backing panels that were the 5 1/4 by 4, but then also the top pattern papers as well. Some of them, like this one here, have a bit of a gradient to them. And so I was trying to work out what is the best color combination, because there's quite a big difference between having either the dark peach behind it or the blue, or even that bottom right-hand corner where there's the marble color. I've just run through all of these one by one and stuck them together. And because I'm a mass card maker, I know I've said this in the past, I'm always multitasking. So while I'm doing this, I'm actually watching one of my favorite TV series on TV. And for anyone wondering what that is, I have been watching Miss Fisher's Modern Murder Mysteries. It is an Australian show. There's only been 2 seasons and it finished in 2021. So I'm not sure if there's going to be more, but that is what I was watching today. I now have all of these panels attached to the backing layer, and the next step is to do the horizontal line that goes under the circle sentiment. I decided that I had a lot of offcuts from when I was doing the 4 by 5¼ inch layer, and those would match in with the color combinations that I'm using today. So I'm sorting through the leftover strip that is the 1 3/4, and I'll leave those for another project. And these smaller pieces, they're currently 3/4 inch wide, and they are 4 inches long. And so I'm putting the ones here that are matching these 5 backing panels. And then I decided I really did prefer the 1/2 inch strip, which is per the design of the sketch. So I ran through and I trimmed all of those down and I attached them to the cards. I have not shown that on camera because it is very, very simple and not that interesting to watch. But there was 20 of them and they are all done. And the next step is to attach them to the card bases. I really love using circle sentiments on cards, and I've prepared a whole bunch of them to have on hand for projects. For these cards here, I decided that I wanted to do birthday cards, which I use most frequently, and I picked 2 cards to be birthday, and then I thought I will branch out and use some other sentiments for the other 2. So one of them I have said, "You are so amazing," which is the top left, and then the one down the bottom, I picked the best wishes. These are all lawn fawn sentiments, by the way. They are amazing, and I will put links below. So if there is any that you're looking for, you can find them super, super easily. I do have some circles where when I use my die machine, I didn't cut them out 100% perfectly. And what I do is I use those to provide a second layer below the sentiments that are perfect and ready for a card. I had 15 of the circles that had the die had moved. I hadn't taped them down because I'm a bit lazy. And so I attached those. And then for the final set of cards, I did not have the second layer. And what I'll say is the second layer does make the sentiment stand out a little bit more. But in my view, both cards looked amazing and I was absolutely happy with all of them. Through this process though, I did get in a bit of a rhythm and I completely forgot I had a landscape card. So I did have to put another happy birthday sentiment straight over the top to make sure it was facing the right direction. But it worked out perfectly fine in the end. So these are my 4 sets of 5 cards. I have put another video here that I think you might enjoy. Have a great day.